discussion by council vote or other action on update from Municipal Building Review Task Force. Unfortunately, Mr. Clifford, I have nothing to update tonight. Nothing new tonight to update from the previous. We will have something probably on the 17th. Next item, discussion by council vote or other action on appointments to town boards and commissions. Economic Development Commission, appointment by the town administrator with town council approval. Still no name. And Senior Citizens Commission, and I guess Mrs. O'Hara not being here. Move that to the next meeting. Next item, discussion by council vote or other action on live streaming town council meeting. Mr. Osier.
So I know Hello? Okay. So I know the last time we voted on the taping of the meetings, but I found out we can actually stream through a YouTube account. So if it's okay with the council, I'd like to explore that option. That's the only thing I really have. We've had the option all along, we just never used it.
So, I'm sorry, for a live stream?
Yeah, that's cool. Yeah, so I just wanted to let you guys know that.
We have an option to live stream, but what is it? What does it take and what does it cost?
Right, that's right. We should just be, all we need is a camera, so we can figure it out.
Yeah, the biggest issue is going to be the reliability of the Wi-Fi. We don't have a strong Wi-Fi signal. It's not going to be any good to try to do it, but something where we can explore, and maybe definitely once we move into the new building, where we're static, we have a static setup. It'll be a lot easier to do it, but we can absolutely get the ball rolling from there.
Can't get people to come to the meeting. We can watch on TV. And I don't see the real relevance. Are they going to see something and hurry up, get in their car and speed over here to make it?
People are more apt to watch it, whether it's on the phone or something, than we would sometimes being able to come here. I think there's merit to it.
Next item on the new business, discussion by council vote or other action on motor vehicle damage claim. Mr. Solicitor, do you have a recommendation?
Well, I would just rely on the information I provided. That's part of the memo from Raymond Pendergast. The claim was filed on May 1st, 2019. The amount of the claim was for $1,816.42. It was based upon a slippery roadway. The legal issue in the case, which will be whether or not there was any sufficient notice. At this point, I would recommend denial.
You've heard the solicitor's recommendation. Is there a motion? I'll make that motion. Motion to deny the claim. Is there a second?
Second.
Second by Mrs. Bonioli. Discussion? Hearing none, roll call vote.
Mrs. Bottomoli?
Yes.
Mr. Ogier?
Yes.
Mr. Zelinski?
Yes.
Mr. Vadenais?
Yes.
Mr. President, I would just ask the council whether the council wants to have a letter sent to the applicant or just have these minutes sent to the claimant. Do you want the administrator to sign a letter?
May I make a motion that we have the administrator issue a letter
So that
stating?
there's something documented.
There's a motion. Is there a second? Second by Mrs. Bonioli and Mrs. Walensky. Any other discussion? Roll call vote.
Mrs. Bottomoli?
Yes.
Mr. Ogier?
Yes.
Mr. Zelinski?
Yes.
Mr. Vadenais?
Yes. Next item, discussion by council vote or other action on payment to Easton Architects, North Smithfield Heritage Association. We do have a letter addressed to the administrator from Mrs. Farrisee, the Assistant Treasurer of the Heritage Association, for a bill to Easton Architects dated May 2nd, 2019, in the amount of $3,745. And it's their recommendation that they recommend that we pay the bill. Is there a motion?
Motion, Mr. President.
Motion by Mrs. Zelinski. Is there a second?
Second.
Second by Mrs. Bonioli. Any other discussion? Roll call vote.
Mrs. Bottomoli?
Yes.
Mr. Ogier?
Yes.
Mr. Zelinski?
Yes.
Mr. Vadenais?
Yes. Do we need authorization to signature on this? It's just on here. Next item, discussion by council vote or other action on Mattity Road abatement of taxes. Ms. DeJesus.
This property has been in tax sale, and we have not received any taxes since 2002. My recommendation is to assign the tax sale to Andromeda Real Estate Partners, LLC, for the amount of $127,664.12 and abate $128,580.97. This will provide the town with revenue, and also they'll be liable for future taxes. It will take a year for them to go to court and foreclose on it, but meanwhile they will be responsible for taxes.
In essence, this is a tax on that property, and we're, in order to go through that process, we're abating $128,000 of funds that we don't have anyway. It's money we don't own.
Yes, this is the site that we discussed on other occasions.
There a motion to approve the abatement of $128,580.97 and the tax sale of $127,664.12 to Andrew Media Real Estate Partners, LLC.
So moved.
Motion by Mr. Bonioli, is there a second? Second by Mr. Zelinski. Any other discussion? Hearing none, roll call vote.
Mrs. Bottomoli?
Yes.
Mr. Ogier?
Yes.
Mr. Zelinski?
Yes.
Mr. Vadenais?
Yes. So in essence, we've taken a derelict property and put it back in the tax code.
Correct.
Next item, discussion by council vote or other action on purchase of SCBA equipment. Mr. Rizowski.
I will defer to the chief for details, but you have a summary letter in your packet that identifies a purchase in the amount of $132,426 with the funding to come from the fiscal year 17 capital reserve for this purpose, fiscal year 17 fire equipment replacement reserve, fiscal year 18 Fund 20 capital, that's the third-party billing account, and fiscal 19 Fund 20 expense of $597.64 for the total of $132,426. Chief?
Good evening, Chief.
Good evening, how are you tonight? This is a project that got started by Chief Gilson, as you can see, over the past couple of years. We're currently operating our breathing apparatus under the 2002 NFPA standard. They've changed that standard twice since that purchase. So this purchase would bring us up to the latest standard, which went into effect just a few months ago. We would be operating under the 2018 standard, which has several changes in safety features on the breathing apparatus. Most importantly, what we call the end of service alarm, which lets us know when we're close to being out of air. They've increased that time from 20% to 33%. It also changes the decibels for personal alerting devices if a firefighter goes down, and various electronics and frames for the air packs. So there's quite a difference from what we will be getting to what we currently have. Currently, we're almost out of date with the air packs, and we've got about 1 year left on all the cylinders to where we're not going to be able to hydro test them anymore. We're going to have to put them out of service. So this would get us up to speed and put us up to date for the next 15 years or so.
This is replacing those tanks.
It is, yes. It's 36 cylinders, 18 actual air packs, 36 cylinders, 25 face pieces, and various things that the vendor threw in as well. One of which is what we call a fast attack grid pack. That's if we needed to go in to save a down firefighter, we can bring that in with us to get them hooked up to some air and extricated from the building.
Mrs. Zelinski.
Chief, replacement, are they scheduled, like say the face pieces, the seals, are they scheduled for replacement periodically?
No, they don't typically need to be replaced. What we do is an annual fit test on them. The member comes in, we hook them up to a machine with the face piece on, and we make sure that they get the proper seal. If for some reason, if a member loses weight or gains weight or something like that, we don't get the proper results from the fit testing, then we replace it. Or if it gets damaged or something.
But they have a life expectancy
Yeah, pretty much they would last about the life of the units themselves.
Thanks, Steve.
And each man has their own tank?
No, each man has their own face piece, their own mask, but the air packs themselves will go on the various apparatus. And when they report to duty, they'll put their own face piece on the pack themselves.
Yeah, what's up?
Yeah, well, just thinking about it, with mutual aid, these will be interchangeable with our sister communities?
Yes.
Hopefully?
Yes.
Okay.
NFPA requires that there are certain components of the air pack that are universal. So that if you run into that situation, like we're going to be running the Scott air pack, when socket runs MSA, but we will be able to interchange for different emergency features on the air pack.
Okay, thanks.
I'd like to add that I've been impressed with the way that this process has worked, and that this is an MPA-based purchase, but the chief and his leadership team took the time to allow the staff to be able to test and demo different providers, apparatus from different providers, to get to the conclusion that, this is one. Not that everybody, there's 100% agreement that on the feedback, but it's been an open process to try to make sure that we're getting the right equipment for the people who will use it. I value that. Thank you.
Thank you.
So if I'm reading this correctly, we're purchasing 18 masks and they're giving us 7?
Correct. Just to add to a little more detail to what we did, I didn't want to have the membership wearing something that they use every day that they didn't want. That's why I incorporated that into the process, to make sure that, the people who are going to be wearing them the most are going to be in what they want to be in. So that's why we settled on the Scott brand.
Yeah, Mr. President, make a motion to approve the purchase of the self-contained breathing apparatus equipment in the amount of $132,426, based on Commonwealth of Massachusetts Operation Service Division.
That's the Shipman's Fire Equipment Company?
Yes.
Second.
And second by Mrs. Bonioli. Just one question, maybe a procedural type of thing. Does the bill go to the fire department or does it come to the town? Comes to the town. It just says it on here, the bill to the fire department. I mean, I'm glad to send the chief a bill, but
It
I don't think
probably goes
you
to
really-
him, but he brings it to us.
The well's almost dry.
Trust me, he passes them all.
Actually, I get some of your bills down the street and then I drop them off to you. The mailman doesn't read all
Oh,
the
really?
time. Yeah.
I'm responsive.
The fire.
I do. I've gotten them. They've gotten better.
so we have a motion and a second. Roll call vote.
Mrs. Bottomoli?
Yes.
Mr. Ogier?
Yes.
Mr. Swansky?
Yes.
Mr. Vadenais?
Yes. Next item, discussion by council vote or other action.
Thanks.
Thank you, Chief. Discussion by council vote or other action on proposed new ordinance establishing open space committee, community planning, as well as grant and/or other funding opportunities in the acquisition of open space. Mr. Ogier.
Yep, so I have a quick prepared statement I'm going to read, and then I'll get into the open space committee. So our town needs an established forum where we can collectively decide on our open space strategy as a community. When I first introduced the idea of this proposal, I was saddened to see a negative response from some of those who were for the preservation of open space. Instead of hearing the proposal or asking for details, conclusions and false accusations were drawn. A few of them even made personal attacks and inaccurate assumptions. So let's set the record straight. The focus is on our town. This has nothing to do with political gains. This is for all of us, our future as residents of North Smithfield. We should be supporting and collaborating, in addition to working together to achieve common goals for our community. I ask, outside of private purchase, when was the last time our town acquired open space? Was it more than 10 years ago? And where are our targets and goals around open space acquisitions? We need open space goals and targets to succeed. To date, I have received a lot of positive feedback and interest for this new proposal. And frankly, this proposed ordinance should have been in place years ago. We need synergies now more than ever and can no longer afford more missed opportunities. We need a proactive, fiscally responsible solution where we continue to miss out on open space prospects. We also need to be smart with our finances and not burden all of us as taxpayers and move NS forward in a positive direction. We do not need a redundant policy or committee. What we need is to ensure that we are executing and following through on our open space goals. This idea for an initiative, whether it's a policy, ordinance, task force, or committee, will collectively provide accountability, set open space goals, and help us define our open space in our town. Each person sees open space differently, and this team will help protect what is important for both town and residents. They will provide a voice for everyone involved, as well as offer guidance to the council and community regarding open space. Open space will always be incredibly important to me, and while I remain transparent, scheduling conflicts happen, and know that I am always willing to see and for any potential open space opportunities for our town. I also want to ensure that we are operating within the laws which water protected our towns. And so I'll get into the ordinance now, or the committee. So essentially, this idea I've been thinking about for some time. I really started thinking about it when we started looking at the comprehensive plan and noticed that there are some areas where I think this will help support some of the things we're trying to do in there. Under the objective, you'll notice that I said that the committee will be responsible for overseeing the action plan presented in the comp plan, specifically goals 3 of the economic development chapter, goals 1 and 2 of the natural resource chapter, and goals 1 and 2 of the open space and rec chapter. The committee is to bring balance amongst the conflicting views around open space while providing instruction and guidance going forward. It does not take away from other groups nor create redundancy, but instead provides the collective form and solutions we need. The committee is to be appointed by the council. It should consist of 9 members. The membership would consist of planning, zoning, economic development, Parks and Recreation Commission, Conservation Commission, Town Council Liaison, Historic District Society, and 2 community members at a minimum. It would meet no more than once per quarter, and the meeting as needed when open space opportunities would be discussed. It would not take away any power from the current council. It would just act as an advisory board. Some of the things that we tasked with: defining what is open space, developing a ranking system in which we value open space, determining if there is an imminent threat to the property, ensuring that the comp plan is being followed by providing feedback and proposing changes as needed, explore outside funding opportunities, specifically through grants, easements, tax incentives, proposal of a grant writer, and or other methods through state, local, or federal funding without having to resort directly to a bond. When I was researching this, I found that many communities actually require that a bond is to be the last option when acquiring open space. Establish guidelines around who, when, and how a town official can approach a landowner about acquisition, set open space targets, responsible for educating the community, and provide an annual report to the town to be presented at the beginning of each fiscal year. The committee will be responsible for overseeing the action plan presented in the comp plan, again, with the specific goals and additional tasks that we could decide. And I included a list of the communities currently in Rhode Island that do it and outside of Rhode Island. There's a bunch of them outside of Rhode Island, but I just limited to those. Discussion.
Discussion by the council? When you go through what the committee would be tasked with, they are redundant to what we have. We have professionals that work for us in the planning department. We have the planning board. We have outside groups in town that are looking to do this, such as the land trust. And by creating another committee with members from all of those things, it doesn't solve the issue. And it's always being reactive, not even proactive by doing that. It's going to add another layer to something that's already confusing and possibly misguided at times. And the obvious case was just what we transpired in the last month. How in my mind it was completely mishandled by other groups in the town. So I personally don't see a need to create another committee to do this. The ultimate responsibility lies with the board that sits right here.
I concur with what you're saying, Mr. President, but I think the only true committee and commission, according to state law, Mr. DeJesus helped me out there, I believe it's the Conservation Commission. But we have a well-qualified Parks and Rec, and we have dedicated members on the land trust. I applaud Councilor Osier for bringing this forward, but what he enumerated here with define what is open space, develop a ranking system, that's already in place. The Conservation Commission had that established, and as you alluded to, land trust had used that in the past as well. So those measurements are already in place. So I kind of concur with what you're saying.
So I asked that, so what made me think about this is that when I looked at the current Conservation Commission and saw what they were tasked with, and the land trust is a private organization, correct me if I'm wrong.
No, that's correct.
They are to be tasked, well, part of their charter under the Conservation Commission is that they are supposed to provide an annual report. And when I frankly checked out their website, I didn't see much about open space on there. So I am confused as to how are they advocating for more than just a particular piece of property and not advocating for what is open space, what are our targets. I mean, Smithfield alone utilized their land trust to acquire 5 to 10% over the last 5 years and set out a strategic plan for it. And that's more or less what I'm trying to get at, is how do we, if open space is an important topic for us, how do we get there so that we're actually achieving on our open space goals instead of just throwing it out there as we need more of it, but then don't do anything about it. And that's more or less what this idea comes from.
Mr. President, I did have the opportunity to speak with Councilman Osier about this and spend some time looking at the references from Tiverton and from Middletown. I've discussed it further with the councilman and been clear that I'm not a fan of another committee. But I do think that a policy could be developed to affirm the process for which a open space recommendation could be vetted and